time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They rank to drink the water, the transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. Every time I put on my TV, see the minister of MIT. By Django says, Malak, don't panic. The whole government photogenic. If they go to the bathroom to pee, posting it up for the world to see. Taking out pictures like circus clown, on the ballin, boots on the ground. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They rank to drink the water, the transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. They say that fella never sleepy, yeah. Drink the water too and he get glad. Then he take a rake in Carriacou and he start to rake up them people. Brian and Daisy say the man don't care. He transfer a woman to the mlay. They say how she wear a green jersey, so get rid of all those NNP. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They rank to drink the water, the transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. If you sit at the report in Grenville, what does walk and bump like a square wheel? Tell this Malak cannot understand. How come he don't get a position? Philip is chairman and Nawasa. Glenn is ambassador to Cuba. Keto is the new house speaker. They should make you Facebook minister. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They rank to drink the water, the transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. Same lady what mess up Jelino, mess up Dennis in conference also. Now she is a big minister. I want to say glory, hallelujah. To sing that song you really brave. Dennis must be turning in the grave. Holy old man take all the money and send it straight to the cemetery. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They rank to drink the water, the transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. I read that one on social media about a certain political leader. The man opposed the story, got so vexed. Said the certain leader was the ex. As the man, if he not feeling ashamed, if he have evidence to call name, he says, Malax, I'll give you a clue. I had a calling him Mr. Susu. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They rank to drink the water, the transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They rank to drink the water, the transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. Yes, this is a tribute to Tobulus. He's one of our fallen soldiers. May your soul rest in peace, my brother. Hey, but Parang will continue. Hi, boy. Hey, Seti. I never knew Scholar was a pastor. Prayed for me in the Luxi Lima. But like he forget to remember to pray for himself in the Masgra. Last year the man said he retire. Said he gonna walk with cats and stunner. But he say he gets so old and raven. Now they calling him number 7. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. As a tribute to Tobulus. Yes, man. Hey. Them fellas, they give him a lot of number 7. Hey, number 7 means money. You real? Hi, boy. Hey. Like that transformation have a course. Black folks start to ride on Grenada's boss. But the one what really surprised me is when the black folks swim in the sea. We tell them free ex-last election. Them folks seeking for compensation. A fella in Grenada's jump and say, them fall and them searching for AJ. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. Yes, man. Them for one compensation. Hey, hey. No more free egg. Ever you fall swim? Hey, boy. Trouble in the south. Society boy like plenty drama. Said the PM love rainbow color. He say he's to see how the man pose with a color socks in Barbados. I say well do discuss that to me. Tell it to the press secretary. Said he I feel you had a bad dream. Oh you want some nutmeg ice cream? Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. Boss a parang for us as a tribute to Douglas. 31 scoop for you. And if you see Lake, tell him I'll give him half scoop. Darius, I'll give you 4 scoop. NDC has some young fat bowlers, so them fellas bowling some bouncers. Who went bouncing check, they bouncing van. Who went bouncing van, they bouncing man. And recently for carnival, even baby Jesus bounce a girl. They say he's a reckless driver. Bounce the woman straight on she bumper. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss, so boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. Boss a parang for us as a tribute to Douglas. Just be careful, you know, they say the pitch taking pace. The pitch taking pace. Shot pitch, shot pitch. Right now at Dorking. Watch it now. Hey. When you see this out of schoolie, tell him not me what take a lady. Tell him Smalax is not a Rasta, and I'm not living in Libera. But who cannot hear they going to feel Rasta take a woman in Goat Hill. But the one that well puzzling me, both of them camping for NDC. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss, so boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us, boss a parang for us. Boss a parang for us as a tribute to Douglas. Yes, man. Tell my coolie friend, don't worry. Take it light and patient. You might get back. You might get back. Hey, Rasta you tell boy, donkey you can. Oh, donkey you punky. Crafo in Tivoli, he crying. Said he walk with excellent chicken. Don't know what to do or what to say. Mo he make nice, mo he ain't get pay. Boy he say what make him get harassed. Saiba with a bouquet of flowers. Make him real mama gizom. Brought it for his wife into reason. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. Boss a parang for us as a tribute to Douglas. Pay your bill, brother, pay your bill. The man of responsibility too, you know. The man of children, the man of wife, the man of a life. Pay your bill, brother. Hey, you're on Facebook making makiki. You're doing flower delivery, eh? When I sang and boss in Calypso, they say it's Kama Watamiso. But when Shanda boss in the semi, said she sang well, they should pick she. Well, maybe because me wrote for she, who are ranked to liquid and NP.
History is in the making as the new National Party celebrates 40 powerful years of progress, visionary leadership, and service with a massive rally. Bushesu Plain Field on Sunday, December 1st, 5 p.m. Get inspired for the rescue mission ahead. Joining us all the way from Jamaica, the most honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. From St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and political leader of the UWP, the Honorable Alan Shashane. We will also witness a highly anticipated address from Grenada's longest-serving Prime Minister and our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. NNP Marcel 40th Anniversary Rally, December 1st. Bushesu Plain Field. Be there.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Always good to be in studio with you. And, of course, it's our Friday night forum. Not too sure how deep we're going to get into it tonight. Yeah, it is our Friday night forum. I wonder, man. Let me try one more. Let me try one more parang while I just sort out one issue, huh?
This is Malax again. I say my back broad is broad. Michael Battis, please don't take my bail. I want to go in jail. I want to go in jail. What you know about Black Pat and Bun Pat? Hey, call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail, and I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. Dr. Mitchell is a real world boss. He begged them fellas to come to class. Well, you know that all of them refuse, and now the whole nation confused. One jump and sell Miss McQuinca, Tevin cause them teachers for water. Big corruption inside Latu, but baby Jesus make like go go. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare to break a jail. I don't want
And of course, we're going to be taking your calls in and between.
police for me, even
And the number 440-7377, 347-329-3101.
CJ and AJ turn engineer, both in River Road and Molin.
Well, I haven't seen the list for the buses come back, so
Project with
not too sure what to tell you all.
2 years plus and
Nimrod Oliver, if you're listening,
no River Road and Motmo flood and Molin full up with more. Call the police for me and arrest me like Z.
yeah, link your boy.
To break a jail, I don't want nobody stand me bail, and I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see.
So Skita, how come you couldn't tell me to rack up your side? Hey.
I really thought Randall Robinson bad, but the man is a real big coward. Ken Jones say fire Larry Barry, fire him as the secretary, but the man he really friend Millie. Come and tell us how some people see. Ken Jones
And let's see who is on.
tell them fella time to pack and walk. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy.
Peter Striker Lewis, good night to you, bro.
I don't want nobody stand me,
Evelyn Narayan, Donna Langdon,
even though I'm not
Gillian Prescott, Sherms Houston,
real happy to see small.
and Patrick Roberts, good night to you. Leslie James, what's up?
If I do see the farmer banker, ask him the reason he get.
Shirley Lacrette, Charmaine Ragbasing, Marilyn Ferguson, McLean Mitchell, Dan Romney, Velma Pascal,
Me life, I
Olive McEwen, Nesta Sinclair, Joan Henry, Ingrid Bourne,
push and
Winnie Simon, good night to you.
call the police for me.
Cicely Celestine, Errol Bonaparte, John Mark, Kenrick Gibbs, good night to all of you on the Facebook. I see some of you dropping in, yeah. Relish, good night. Tora St. John, good night to you. Where's Tora? I ain't see Tora for a while, you know. Yeah.
Want to be like,
Yvonne Courtney, good night.
want to travel.
I know she's watching, but she doesn't, she ain't commenting.
Yeah, pose with millionaires and take out picture. And I don't care if teachers ain't getting
Let me see who's over on the YouTube. Ron Julian, good night.
PTA. Is my name what's selling this country? Call it.
Ron Julian, you don't have to ask me if I watch any of the programs. I watch the programs, alright? You don't have to come every night and ask me if I watch.
Nobody stand me bail, and I tell them call the police for me.
Sherba Jeremiah, Albert Harris, Claude Abraham,
To see
Carl Jones, Matthew Bowen, Agnes Henry, Faithlyn Hallie Douglas,
he took me a
Marilyn, good night. Gillian Noel, Errol Bonaparte, Francis George,
surprise at NDC.
Olive McEwen, Ann Andrews, Debbie Seals, Dolores Redhead, Joycelyn Francois,
Yes, walk with
Eliza Bernard, Jackie Raymond.
surprise me.
Yeah, don't say the thing at Jackie. No, we're saying it French. Jackie.
Like Ziggy.
Jackie Raymond,
Break a jail.
Maud Martin, Carib Spice Fitness, Ruth Chitterman,
Police for me. Even
Agatha Williams, good night to you.
bail, and I tell them call the police for me.
Listra Abraham, Kathleen Ledlow, Faithlyn Hallie Douglas,
This man is in custody.
Ashma Charles, Stephanie John, Pastor Casimir, Thomas, good night to you.
Dan Molyneux. Is to
Sky, good night. Deborah Laborde,
project will complete.
Red Girl Pascal,
Yes, plus, and like the project start to
Renee Zodi,
River Road and Motmo flood, and Molyneux full of.
Hermione Calise, Moko Joseph, Moko Pen,
Prepare to break a jail.
Bernadette Joseph, Gloria Francois, JC Sherry, Janice Mitchell, Michelle Alexander, Dalma Scott,
I'm not guilty. I know
Oswald Belfont, Kathleen Knights, One Jump,
custody.
One jump, that is Small Axe. That is his 2024 Parang, yeah?
But the money is a real big
Sherma Fletcher,
fire.
Dena Tamada, Anne Marie Grant,
Cherry, but the money really friend me.
Jacket Man,
Some people say, Kem Jones say by
Dominic.
tell them fella.
Yes, you Dominic and Dwayne. Charmaine Thomas.
And arrest me like Ziggy.
My good friend Melissa up there in St. Andrew.
Better tell them call the police for me.
Before you get vexed and say I don't calling you, eh? Nice.
I know haters will happy to see small axe in custody. If I do see the farmer banker, ask him the reason he get fire. And if he pretend he ain't know, ask him about the house in Maribo. And if he want to create trouble in me life, I go send him a number for me wife. And if he really want to make confusion, tell us Malax have other woman. Call the police for me and arrest me like.
So let me give you all the buses and so for the different areas. Well, the numbers that you can call for the buses.
Police for me. Even
Wonder if I can get it up on the other side. Let me see.
haters will happy to see small axe in custody. I want to be like the Prime Minister. I want to travel the world more regular. I want to go to Dubai and Nigeria, pose with millionaires and take out picture. And I don't care if teachers ain't getting paid. Like Donkey, let you jump and breathe. I'm popular more than GTA. Is my name what's selling this country? Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see small axe in custody. It took me a while to realize when Dennis just said that he's surprised. He said he's surprised at NDC and all them fellas is RMC. He said he invest plenty money over the years, work with the party. But the one that real surprised me, so test school in Kalima, don't see. Call the police for me.
All right, so let me let you all know the buses that are going to be heading to the numbers for you to call to get on the bus for the rally. So for St. Patrick East, yes, those of you up in beautiful St. Patrick East, you can call 533-8797. Let me repeat that number. I have them up on the screen here. 533-8797. St. Patrick West, you can call 442-1922. St. Mark, you've got three numbers you can use. 449-2533. Let me take that again. 449-2533. 415-7635. And 457-6906. For those of you in St. John, you can call 533-1079. St. Andrew Northeast, 416-0328. St. Andrew Northwest, 406-3552. St. Andrew Southeast, 418-7888. St. Andrew Southwest, 415-5862. For St. David, you've got three numbers you can call. 415-9072, 533-5213, and 536-9137. And let me see here. I have to move this up a little bit there, right? No. You have to go up a bit. Yeah, go up a bit. Nice. Yes, Papa. That is where you have to go. Yes, you have to go up like that. Nice. Right. Time we go shift it so. Nice. Good. And let's see now for St. George Northeast. You've got 537-4955. St. George Northwest, 459-5076. And 449-6603. So St. George Northwest, 459-5076 and 449-6603. St. George Southeast, 423-0706. That's 423-0706. St. George South, 536-8704. That's 536-8704. And Town of St. George, 414-3876. That's 414-3876. So, folks, those are the numbers you can call to get up to the rally on Sunday. You can call the, if you know the number of the constituency lead for your area, you can call their number. If not, you've got the numbers here of the contact persons who will organize and tell you which bus is passing in your particular area at which time for each constituency. All right? Nice. Beautiful. All right. So you all have that information now. And just in case, you could always wind, you could pull back and, old time you used to rewind the VCR. You could just slide back and pause the video and you could get a number for your area, yeah?
And like the project start to revolt, no river, road and water flood, and more linear full up with more. Call the police for me, and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare to break a jail, I don't want nobody stand me bail, and I tell them, call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see small acts.
Yeah, so looking forward to seeing you all on Sunday. And I'm seeing something here that the Molyneux Road will be open from 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, you see, all we have to do is come on the program and say that one. They said that, we know what we're doing. You come on the program, we said one. That they have the intention of keeping it closed because they did have the intention of keeping it closed. And two, it was promised that it would be open by November. Now we're hearing that they have to put some more asphalt in a few weeks to finalize the paving of the road and that sort of thing. All right. So they say that the Molyneux Road is open from 6 a.m. tomorrow, and we are thankful. So don't open it for tomorrow alone and close it Sunday, Right, yeah. Because we had a past days. They are passing. Right? Nice. So the Molyneux Road is open from 6 a.m. tomorrow. So those of you who are heading up to Bujeju and you're coming from the south side, right, yeah, you can pass through there. Those of you up in St. George Southeast and so on, St. David, all of you that are coming across, yes, you have the opportunity. You can pass through the Molyneux Road now on your way to Bujeju. Well, let's hope, because again, it says it will be open 6 a.m. tomorrow. It doesn't say that it will be closed back tomorrow or that it will be closed on Sunday or anything. It does say that they have to lay a final layer of asphalt, has to be applied within a few weeks to finalize the paving of the road. So we know it's not completed. So there may be a period of time again when it is closed for that final layer of asphalt to be laid down. But as of 6 a.m. tomorrow, yeah, they had to do it. And you see, I also told you all that they're going to come and try and pave the road in Grenada, fix some of the potholes in the worst possible time. So they wait until the middle of the day today, late morning, middle of the day, to go on the Maurice Bishop Highway to go and start paving. They didn't say, let them wait until Saturday, which is not that much of traffic as during the work week. They don't say let them wait until Sunday and go and pave. Yes, we want it paved and we want it paved quickly. But we also want it paved sensibly. Yeah? So they come and they go and they start to pave. Again, because we say it on this program. Because we said that the plan was to go and pave it in the week before Christmas. That is what the plan was. We exposed the plan, so they had to come and try a new plan, which is what we also said. If you go back and listen, you'll hear we also said, now that we've said that, they go rush and try and do it now. So they've started today. I passed them there. They were paving on the Maurice Bishop Highway. Some of the potholes were paved. I'm telling you, it has some craters, some other parts of Grenada and things. My goodness, even my wrong tongue and so on. Good night to you, Keda Joseph. And good night to your sister Shemi. Good night to the whole family. Eh?
My back brother. Michael Battis, please don't take my bail.
Why everybody jumping on my case so about that clip from last night? Not me that said the thing. The Minister of Health come out and say thing, and I get the Minister of Health that come out and say thing is not me that said. The Minister of Health come out and say thing. He say you should be this. So I get
in custody. Dr. Mitchell is a real world boss. He begged them fellas to come to class. Well, you know that all of them refuse. And now the whole nation confused. One jump and sell Miss McQuinka. Tevin cause them teachers for water. Big corruption inside Latu. But maybe Jesus make Lakobu. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them CJ and AJ turn engineer.
So some people asking what I'm talking about. No, I'm going to play what I'm talking about for you, Yeah. Not me. So just remember, it's the Minister of Health of Grenada that made the statement.
The government has debated this in the halls of its cabinet.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Yeah, what's the right one? Right, that's the right one. Nice. Yeah, that's the thing, man. There's the right one.
Listen, the process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has not been improved in the way that you would expect to see it. There's some small signs, as pointed out earlier, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet, but we have done all of the planning, all of setting aside the financing and getting the financing and all the stuff that is needed to make the big decisions that are to be made. And so I am satisfied.
You're satisfied or no? You're satisfied? Let me again.
There is going to be some rejoicing. The process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. That, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has not been improved in the way that you would expect to see it. There's some small signs, as pointed out earlier, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet, but we have done all of the planning, all of setting aside the financing and getting the financing and all the stuff that is needed to make the big decisions that are to be made. And so I am
Right. So, folks, yeah, and I'm seeing some messages coming in that the road is open already. That's absolutely wonderful that the road is open already. It should have been open 2 years ago, so that it's open now. We're glad. Nice? Yeah. But I am reading from a release that was sent out. That is the release that they sent out saying that the road will be open tomorrow from 6 a.m. So if it's open already, all well and good. Yes, so folks can pass there and avoid having to go right or wrong and that sort of thing. Again, folks, the phone lines are open before I go into the substantive issue for tonight. But I want to also say to you all to be very careful between now and the convention of the new National Party. Be very careful with what some people put forward as truth and as real. I listened to something today and it was nearly 4 minutes long, and it is totally created using artificial intelligence. It is not something, the person didn't speak and say that, because if you know the person and you listen, you would hear, if you listen carefully, you would hear that that is not the way the individual speaks. That what they did is they took a sample, and it costs money to do this. So it means that individuals who are interested in creating conflict within the new National Party, who are interested in creating confusion within the new National Party, who are interested in seeing the new National Party fall apart, are the ones that did this. I could even tell you the program that they used, because there are markers there, the program that was used to do it. So it is not, because I see some people sharing it and sending it around, and so let me warn you all, artificial intelligence is dangerous. I'll use an example. I've been going over Facebook, and bit by bit, I'm beginning to think that that's the end of it for me and Facebook. Because when I go online, there are literally, for every 2 or 3 friends that you have a post, there are about 10 from all kind of weird pages that popping up with all kind of nonsense. And all of these are generated using artificial intelligence. There are pages on Facebook full of false and fake news. The pictures are fake. The pictures are easily created using artificial intelligence. You can go online now and type in that you want to see a 7-foot tall, muscular African American samurai warrior in black and white. And AI will generate that photograph for you. What I've been doing is that when I see these pages, I just click them off so that they won't show up in my timeline again. But it's like a never-ending bombardment of that. You see situations where there are entire articles that are written using artificial intelligence. No longer is a person going to sit down there with a pen and paper, or long ago a quilt and paper. No longer is a person going to sit down there with a old school typewriter and type anything or write anything, or even the modern electronics and type anything. All they're putting in are cues, and then AI is writing the entire article for them. Be very careful what you accept as truth out there. There are things out there that utilize people's voices. They can take a sample, for instance. They can take a sample of my voice, and my voice is well known. My voice is well known. They can take a sample of my voice from this or any other program, because there are literally thousands of samples of my voice online right now. So they don't have to call me to try and capture my voice or anything. There are literally thousands of examples of my voice online. And they can enter that into an AI model and have me saying something that I never said. That can be done. And I've seen it, heard it done today. And this is being done by some very desperate people. Very, very desperate people who are out there right now and are worried. They are shaking in their boots about the outcome of the new National Party convention. What we do know is that come the end of the day on December 15th, the new National Party will remain united and strong. We know that the new National Party will have a leader. We're not like the NDC who used to wonder by who might become the leader, and we wonder if we could find a leader and all kind of thing until somebody had to come and buy the leadership. We are not like them. So at the end of the day, the new National Party will have a leader and remain united and strong. They are worried about that. That is why they have to go to the lengths that they are going right now to try and create discord and disunity within the new National Party. NNPites, don't fall for it. You see, when they come out with the thing, they come out with it on a Friday because they are hoping that some of us wouldn't be around to be able to say anything to dispel these sort of things. And I'm saying it because I know for a fact that they are going to come out with more. I know for a fact we will not allow them to get away with it like that. I'll continue to come here and we'll continue to expose when they do these sort of things. Because today, it could be somebody else. Tomorrow, it could be me. The next day, it could be one of you. Because many of us, our voices are out there. They could find copies of our voice, or they phone you and they talk to you on the phone for a little while and they tape your voice and they take your voice and use it. Because that is the stage that we have gotten to with artificial intelligence right now in the world. So you have to be careful what you accept as truth. We have to be, somebody say we sent an NNP to buy their leadership. Papa, I know about that one. I know about that one, Papa. What I will say be very careful what you accept as the truth out there. Yeah, be very careful. They can't say anything that I play here is artificial intelligence. They can't say that because it is verifiable. I can point and direct to the programs or the parliament sittings or the publication or the interview with whichever media house it was or the live that they had on their Facebook page or their YouTube channel. I can point to it and say that was said at this location on this day to this audience via this means in response to a question from A, B, or C, or the minister just decided to blab. So they can't say anything we play here is AI. But I will tell you to be very, very, very careful. And don't just keep that information for yourself. Spread it to others as well. To be very careful. Be very careful with what you are accepting as truth out there. 80% at this time, 80% of the nonsense that comes across your screen on Facebook is artificial intelligence generated. All those pages that claim to know about history and all these kind of things. All these pages with all kind of picture and some people there, woo, you ain't see the size of that man and thing. Fake. Kaya, good night to you, my dear. Dena, good night. And Julius, good night to you as well. Sandra, good night to all of you. Yeah, be very careful what you're accepting because I'm seeing too many people being easily duped. Let me tell you something. When you're looking at a picture and the picture is created using artificial intelligence, one of the things you have to be careful, look at the fingers. If the hand's looking funny, most likely, more than likely, nearly 100% of the times, it is fake. I'm telling you, the hands look kind of ropey. The hands look kind of funny looking. Or when you watch the hands, you see the fingers look crooked or longer than normal. Or if you watch carefully, you realize instead of 5 fingers, they have 7, they have 6. Or you realize they have an additional hand if you look careful, or additional foot. All those sort of things. Look for them because 80% of what you're seeing coming across social media right now is fake. I'm not saying that there are not some sites that give you realistic and truthful information, but 80%. And then we have the people who are here in Grenada that are worried about the new National Party. They know for a fact. And I'll say it here tonight again because I've said it before. If an election is called right now, they're lucky if they could hold on to a seat. They know that. They know they're staring down the barrel of a 15-0. And don't expect them to go down there quietly. Don't expect that they will go down quietly. They know if an election is called right now, which one of them could win the seat. Remember, you need to win 8 seats to form a government. You must win 8, not 6, not 5, not 4, not 3, not 2. You need to win 8 seats, clear 8 seats to form a government. Which 8 do you think NDC could win right now? How much seat they go in and take in St. Andrew? How much seat they go in and take in St. George? Which are the 8 you feel they could take? So they know that, just as I'm saying it, they know that as well. And many of them who have already filled up their pockets, they fill up their pocket, they open their pants waist and they fill up their boxers too. They put it down in their shoe and their socks. They take their hat and they put some under there too. They put it all down in their bosom. They fill up themselves with money already. And they are afraid that they will not have the opportunity to continue filling up themselves with money. Who bank account, some of them didn't even have a bank account. But who have bank account now with hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. Who have bank account and they pass million. And when you hear how much they are paid on a monthly basis, multiplied by the amount of time that they've been in office, you know for a fact that they could not make that kind of money in that space of time. But that is a job for the Integrity Commission, should be looking at that. Because once they declare, you would see, well, okay, this person entered office on the 23rd of June 2022, and between then and now, at the salary that they're making, it is impossible for this person to have that kind of money, especially since that person does not have a business running. So it needs to be investigated. So they full up themselves now. You think they want to lose that? So what are they doing? They're utilizing the money. So when you hear them calling around, and you hear them calling and taking, because something wrong is taking place here. People's data is being shared illegally. Illegally. People's data is being shared illegally. Because nobody can tell me that these people just getting people numbers from the phone book. What phone book? People mobile number not in the phone book. If you're running a business and you feel like you still want to advertise in the phone book, maybe you might have your mobile number there, your business number, but people's mobile numbers are not in the phone book. They have been harvesting people's information. Your name, where you live, where you work, they've been harvesting your information, utilizing government services. So when you go and you apply for different government services, they have been taking note of your information and sharing their information with their pollsters. That is how they're getting the numbers to know, call this group of people and call that group of people. That is how. And they may also be utilizing other means available to the government to get people's information and pass that on. The New National Party is very clear on that. We have our number that we say, we call that number. My good friend, I know you're listening. Send the number to me. I forget the number already. Yeah? We have our number that we say, call that number, and we take the information and we enter you into, we don't even take your name. You just send the number and we send information to you. So we don't even know what's the name that attached to that. Yeah? And that number, let me see, where's the number? 405-8683. That's 405-8683. If you send a text to that number saying add me, you could send a text or a WhatsApp to that number saying add me, and you'll be added to the NNP's list that we send out information to. But you don't pass that on to no pollster and those kind of thing. And what sense would it make for a political party that has gathered information like that to pass it on to a pollster? You only be questioning your own people, so your results will be skewed. So be very careful. Be very careful with what you perceive as reality. A couple months ago, they had one calling around, saying they're calling around in relation to climate change. They had some of them calling. Do you know about this climate change thing and that climate change thing? And then the questions in and between, which political party do you support? It was not about climate change. It was to find out about your political leaning. So they start off, they'll call and ask you which bakery is the best. Who does have the best bread? And then it reach on to which political party you support. And then they flip back and they ask you, you like currants roll? And after they ask you if you like currants roll, they go on to now, and how much money you does make a year. Because they're trying to build a profile of each individual to be able to target you when the campaign comes. And in case some of you don't realize, the campaign come already. But they are sharpening their tools to be able to go after you. And especially the younger voters. Understand what is taking place. Understand the use of technology. Understand how they are utilizing the technology. And understand the dangers involved with how they're utilizing the technology. There are people's lives who can be destroyed by artificial intelligence. Because they could have you saying things that you never say. They could have you doing things that you never do. They can fake different things. Be very, very, very careful. Yeah? That's all I have to say on that particular one for now. Yeah? Nice.
For me, even though I'm not guilty, I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. If all you see the farmer a banker. Ask him the reason he get fire. And if he pretend he ain't know.
Somebody asked me the number again. It's 405-8683. Yeah? 405-8683. You send a text message, or I know hardly anybody send text message these days. You can send a text message or a WhatsApp message, and they will add you, so that when the NNP is sending out SMS messages and so on, you can be added to that list. So you'll be able to get messages that make announcements in relation to various activities and so on. And even sometimes this show, you might get a text message that says this show is taking place and so, yeah? So make sure you add the thing. Nice? Yeah.
A popular more than GTA. Is my name what's selling this country. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police.
Once more, let me remind you all.
History is in the making as the new National Party celebrates 40 powerful years of progress, visionary leadership, and service with a massive rally, Busheshu Plain Field, on Sunday, December 1st, 5 p.m. Get inspired for the rescue mission ahead. Joining us all the way from Jamaica, the most honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. From St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and political leader of the UWP, the Honorable Alan Shashane. We will also witness a highly anticipated address from Grenada's longest-serving Prime Minister and our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. NNP Massive 40th Anniversary Rally, December 1st, Busheshu Plain Field. Be there.
Yes, indeed, folks. So looking forward to seeing you all up there on Sunday. And as you know, it's a Friday night, and usually we go back in time on a Friday night. But tonight, I'm going to be very specific with the issue that I'm going back in time on. A lot has been said about this issue by the various members of the NDC and their mouthpieces out there. And I want to get into that tonight. I want to get into that issue tonight. Once I get into it, I won't be taking the call. So let me take this call. Okay, I lost that one. Right. Once I get into it, I won't be taking the calls. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to play this is because this particular press conference took place just around the time of the 2013 general election, just a few days before it, when people's head was in a different space. A lot of people are studying the campaign, this, that, the other. So they did not actually hear what was being said at that point in time, because a lot of lies have been said, a lot of lies are still being put forward. You hear people talking about poultry farm and thing. All right, so they want to talk about poultry farm. Let's go and talk about poultry farm here. And this one is pretty long, pretty long. So expect about at least 20 minutes on the first part of it at least, yeah? All right.
Especially the press, so that we can discuss events of the poultry project for St. Max. I have here a written statement which I'd like to read, and we can have some questions and comments afterwards. My legal advisor and attorney, Mr. Cardington Hood, is here also to assist in the legal issues. So I'll read the statement. The project entailed 15 acres of land, which was allocated to sell in the Bocage area in St. Max. Cell continued to occupy that land and placed personnel equipment and erected a small house on that land. And we have also done a lot of infrastructure in terms of landscaping to prepare the site for the project. Grenada Broilers Inc. was incorporated in April 2003 to establish or to do the same project. Between 2002 and 2004, Cell was a minority shareholder with GBI, government owning 75% and Cell 25%. GBI was successful in the tender process and signed an agreement for the procurement of equipment for the production operation of the project based on World Bank standards. 2003, Government of Grenada allocated $2 million of public funds to start the project. $1.2 million was used for equipment, past outgoings, travel, wages, salaries, consultant fees, up to then when the project was put on hold after Ivan 2004. I want to add quickly here that after Ivan, Dr. Antoine did his best to see how we could source financing for that project. Unfortunately, we know what happened then in terms of the economic squeeze. Thereafter, the loan agreement negotiated with Exim Bank in the USA, and Dr. Patrick Antoine was the lead person doing that. Loans condition on government remaining in good condition with Exim Bank facility. An auxiliary loan was negotiated between government and RBTT as part of a broader loan being negotiated. On account of Hurricane Ivan and Grenada's position with Exim Bank, neither of these two loans were drawn, and accordingly the additional funding for the project became unavailable. So hence in 2004, the project was put on hold. As a minority shareholder, I was extremely disappointed at this development. The lack of financing had brought the project to a halt. It left me in a very vulnerable position based on the fact that I had invested almost everything I had in that project. In fact, I've lost 2 pieces of my property. In 2006, I was left to believe that the new NDC government will immediately implement the project, so I enrolled in the ranks of the NDC and pursue their objective. Let me say here quite clearly, this is not about NDC or NMP, because I was the chairman of the NDC for 3 consecutive years, 2 before the election, 1 after the election. I was a campaign manager for the NDC during the 2008 election. In fact, I blasted NMP about the project on the platform. So, it's not about NMP or supporting NMP, because I was in the bowels of the NDC. I was a member of the executive. The manifesto of the NDC of 2008 election regarding the St. Mark's constituency also contains a statement about the intention of that project. We were told that they will do it. The subsequent allegation of wrongdoing which I allowed to circulate regarding the operation of the project leveled at Dr. Patrick Antoine, certain members of the board of directors and against NMP administration were untrue and unfounded and unfortunate. Because there's something that was said that was not right. I unequivocally and unconditionally apologize for any hurt that was done to him, because I think that he did a good job. It is deeply regrettable too that I had not drawn the attention to the media and the public of the contents of the audit report by the Auditor General Department and into the financial operation of the project, which made it clear that there was absolutely no impropriety with respect to the financial operation of the project. That report is available. It is a public document. Events since then had led me to understand that while the outcome was less than I would have desired, the NMP administration during the period of 2002 to 2004 had operated in me in an honest and transparent manner. In fact, I think they have treated CEL far better than the NDC government. CEL prepared a business plan and held discussion with the Ministry of Finance as directed by Cabinet in 2008. In July 2009, CEL was advised by letter from Michael Church, the then Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, that Cabinet had approved the list of 31 acres of land at Bocage and Max and several other exemptions and waiver for the project. Let me say this. In 2001-2002, we had 15 acres that was allocated for the project by the NNP government. In 2008, I reapplied to reinstate the project, and I asked for additional lands. The NDC government added 16 more acres of land to the project site, hence the reason why we have 31 acres. But previously, originally it was 15, so hence the reason why we had 31 acres of land. There was much delay in the interim and in the meeting held at the office of Panel Foster, that is PKF, that is down at Granance, that is Mr. I will call his name, Henry Joseph's office, on May 27, 2011, at which Government of Grenada was represented by Mr. Chris de Riggs, and also Henry Joseph, because he is one of the government advisors. Government expressed an interest in partnering with Cell for the implementation of the project. I must also hasten to add that even before that, the Minister of Finance, that is the Honorable Nazim Bok, he actually called us into a meeting and told us that government has the money to do the project. Therefore, government is willing to take the majority share in the project and to do the project, and Cell will not be marginalized. Cell will play an active part and a very important role with them. I'll go on. It was decided that a new company will be incorporated to overtake the investment, and Cell was given the assurance that it will not be pushed aside. Unfortunately, my good ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joseph, in his wisdom, thought it was wise to give Cell 7% shares and give the government 93%, which I bluntly refused to this day. In the meantime, the lease document for the 31 acres of land were prepared by the legal department of the government. It was done in 2010. That document was kept in the Ministry of Lands for 1 year, from 2010 to 2011, before it was given to Cell. It was given to Cell in January 2011. My lawyer at that time, Mr. Lloyd Noel, I signed and returned that document to the Ministry of Lands. To date, we haven't had no response from them. So in essence, the Ministry of Lands have in their possession a signed document for lease for that said land to Sunset Enterprise Limited. Cell continued to seek partners and investors for the project and had attracted the investors of several investors, and I have documents. Not only that, we brought in suppliers of equipment and services, and I have the books I can show you. We brought in people from Israel, Agotop. They sent down one of the chief in person there to speak to Cell in Grenada. We met with the government people, and he outlined everything. We have a letter where Agotop was willing to put in 85% of the cost of all the equipment. All they need government support. The Minister of Finance got a letter and he never responded. We brought in people from Colombia and Mexico through a company called ITA. They was also willing to put in 25% of the cost of the equipment as equity in the project, and another 25% as a soft loan to assist us. To date, that has not materialized. Government just pushed it aside because they were pursuing their own agenda with their own company. So while they were talking to us, they had Cell being mama guy and just fooling us around. In October 2012, Mr. Richard Nixon, Grenada's diplomatic agent, informed Cell that due to concern over the closure of Parliament and the manner in which the Lewis Hamilton issue was treated, the investors were very concerned about doing business in Grenada. Now, these are the same people that I contacted in China, and they said, at this time, no way, we ain't going to do no business in Grenada. By letter of December 13, 2012, from the PS of Lands, Cell was informed that government of Grenada had decided to discontinue negotiation for the lease of the land. The problem here is we were not negotiating anymore. We had already passed that stage. We had a signed agreement, a signed offer that we gave to them, which they didn't even respond to. Mr. Noel responded on January 8, 2013, pointing out that the matter of lease of the land had already been settled since the draft lease had already been signed. Right. Documents in the company register shows that PFGL is a private company incorporated by Henry Joseph and having two directors, Henry Joseph and Jude Bernard. And let me add here quickly, very quickly, it's very important. Henry Joseph, who is now the Ayatollah of that company, a one-man quorum. I went to that man's office in 2009 down at Grenada, inviting him to come in to sell as an advisor, a financial advisor to the company. He is now the one in charge. He's now the one in control. I went to Jude Bernard's home and invited him to come and assist me in the marketing area of the company. He's now on the side with Mr. Henry Joseph in that said company. In fact, Henry Joseph got in 2011, around September, October, $500,000 from the Petrocarib funds. That money was put into a bank, a local bank, Bank of Nova Scotia. And I'm mentioning that because the people who are signatories to that account are Mr. Henry Joseph, Mr. Jude Bernard, and Mr. Fitzroy James. These are the three persons who are signatories to that account. And they could do whatever they want with the money. Now, it's very unfortunate that this project was conceptualized, was developed, and has been promoted by Cell since 2001. I, your humble servant, Curtis Baptiste, is the person who started this project. Today, on all the political platforms, everybody talking about the Poultry Party for St. Mark's, but no one is giving any credit to Cell or to me about that project. It's very ironic, it's very sad, it's very heartless that the people who vested in that project, over 30 persons, local persons, have put in their hard-earned money to make this project a reality to date. And we are just been pushed aside. And Joseph and his cohorts are the ones in full control, with the support and permission of the NDC government. Hence the reason why we are here today.
I am Carriacou. I became involved in this issue 2 days ago when I was approached by Mr. Baptiste to represent his interest in this matter. As a matter of fact, I have some documents here which the press would be free to have pictures or copies of. So I am here acting on behalf of Cell. Mr. Baptiste referred to Cell. It's Sunset Enterprises Limited. That's what Cell represents. And I would begin with the communication from the Ministry of Lands to Mr. Baptiste. It's a letter dated December 13th, 2012. And that's only about 2 months ago. In that letter, the Permanent Secretary, Ms. Miller, purports to say to Cell that the government has decided to discontinue the ongoing negotiations for the lease of land at Bocage. And remember, that's December. 2 months ago only. The government is saying to Cell, we're not going to continue the negotiations anymore. As Mr. Baptiste said, at that point in time, Mr. Lloyd Noel was his lawyer. And Mr. Lloyd Noel writes a very strongly worded letter, literally saying to the government, what are you talking about? We're not negotiating. You sent to us a lease to sign containing all kinds of conditions for the same 31 acres of land. We've signed the lease almost 12 months ago and sent it back to you. So there is no question of negotiations anymore. You made us an offer. We accepted the offer. We signed the offer. So we have a concluded contract. And that was sent, that letter in response was sent to the government, to the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Community Development on the 8th of January 2013. And I pause to stress that these issues regarding the poultry farm in St. Mark's has been debated in Parliament for over a decade. over a decade, debated to and fro, who's wrong, who's right, what's happening. But now, at the end of the tenure of this government, we have a decision being made in December, communicated in December, after a lease has been signed. And here is an issue which I believe has to be dealt with by whoever takes the reins of government. Here is an issue that, on behalf of Sunset Enterprise Limited, and I believe that they have a valid cause of action in this matter. So Mr. Noel says clearly what the position of SEL is. He says they have been occupying the land since 2002, and they've done several things. They've signed the lease, sent it back to you in January 2012, and you have not responded despite many follow-ups. Strange enough, there is a document in the Inland Revenue Department, and I do not know who is the signatory on the document, but that document purports to say that the 31 acres of land are owned by a company called Poultry Farms Grenada Limited. That's what is entered in that document as the name of the owner and the name and address of the person in possession of the land. SEL is saying we have been in possession of the land since 2002. So there is another issue. We have been there on the land. We have allocated resources, we have spent money, we have a house on the land, we have people taking care of the land since 2002. How come this document now, and remember, this document is signed on the 27th of December 2012. And this document purports to say that there is a valuation which is backdated to 1st of January 2001. It's a backdated evaluation of land back to 2001 with an owner, Poultry Farm Grenada Limited. And Poultry Farms Grenada Limited, when we did our research, is a company which was only incorporated on the 13th of July 2011. So let's look again at what Poultry Farm Grenada Limited is. And all you have to do is to look at the articles of incorporation. That document in the registry, Poultry Farms cannot even say where their registered office properly is. One part of the document says the registered office is in Bocage, St. Mark's. Another, I don't know if there's any office in Bocage. Another part of it says the registered office is in Woburn in the parish of St. George in the island of Grenada. That's Poultry Farm Grenada Limited. And I'm reading from the document. You can see the document in my hand. It's there, it's available. Not only that, what concerns me about this company called SEL,
Not SEL.
sorry, PFGL, Poultry Farms Grenada Limited, is that in the document, in the articles of incorporation, there are very broad powers of borrowing given to the directors. I'll tell you about the directors just now. They can borrow money upon the credit of the company. They can mortgage, charge, pledge, or otherwise create a security interest in all or any property of the company. So they can do whatever they want with the land which they say they own at Bocage. The directors can do that. That's what this says. They can meet anywhere in the sky, any part. They don't have to meet in Grenada. As a matter of fact, the strange thing is that on quorum, one director shall form a quorum of the company. So any one person has the power to make any decision in this company. It's here, quorum, one director shall form a quorum for the transaction of business at any meeting of the directors. I've never seen a meeting with one person yet. But that's possible under Poultry Farms Grenada Limited. And the quorum here, this can exercise all the powers of the directors. No business shall be transacted at a meeting unless a quorum is present. So unless one person is present, you can't have any business directed. This is comical. But I'll make when you look at it, you'll see something else. Remuneration of directors. The remuneration to be paid to the directors shall be as the directors may from time to time determine. So you only need one person to be a quorum, and that one person can decide how much money he gets. That's how transparent this company is. And that is a company that this government has placed, tries to place, 31 acres of prime land in St. Mark's into their hand, with all kinds of money that will be coming from investors, borrowers all over the place. And hear this now, worse than that. We talk about accountability. This document is saying the director is not accountable for anything they do. You believe it? No director of the company shall be liable to the company for any loss, conversion, misapplication, or misappropriation of or any damage resulting from any dealings with any money, security, or other assets belonging to the company. So I am a one-man director. I can do what I want, and I am not liable. I am not accountable. And I'm going back here. No director of the company shall be liable to the company for any loss, damage, or misfortune, whatever which may happen in the execution of the duties of his respective office or trust or in relation thereto. Unless it says, unless you have the view that he was not in the best interest of the company. But this is crucial. And I am appalled at what is contained here. But I'll take you even further, and I'm looking at just bits and pieces of this document. Execution of instruments. Contracts, documents, or instruments in writing requiring the signature of the company may be signed by a single director. All contracts, documents, and instruments in writing so signed shall be binding upon the company without any further authorization or formality. The director shall have the power from time to time by resolution to appoint any officers. The common seal of the company may be affixed. What this tells me is that whether or not there is a seal, whether or not the company has a seal, the signature of any one director binds the company. And that director, crucially, is not liable to the company for any loss. So that's where we are with that. So I have serious questions regarding the legality of the purported transfer of the title to Poultry Farms Grenada Limited. And I'm so advising my clients, Sunset Enterprises Limited, in view of the fact that there was this lease that was signed based on an offer by the government of Grenada. I have serious problems with the authenticity and the genuineness of that inland revenue document with respect to the valuation of the land and the ownership, and the fact that there seems to be a backdated valuation going back to about 11 years. My question is, what is the purpose of that? And we're talking about a hotly debated topic in Parliament. And these signal actions are taken when Parliament is prorogued. I also have the email correspondence here from Mr. Richard Nixon, who is saying that the Chinese investors are not interested because of the prorogation of Parliament. They call it a stalemate in government and not having Parliament. And they are concerned about what transpired with another investor, Louis Hamilton Group. And apparently they're saying to our diplomatic envoy, it is setting a precedence that oncoming government can reverse the deal of a previous government. So they are concerned. And Sunset Enterprises Limited is saying that they were well on the way to finding financing for the project with joint ventures when this unfortunate prorogation took place. And while this prorogation is taking place, the land is swiped from under their feet and given to somebody else, where quite possibly one person can decide the fate of the entire company and the land. Those are our concerns. This is the angle in which we will be taking, and it matters not, as far as I'm concerned, what happens on the 19th. My client, Sunset Enterprises Limited, I believe, will have a valid cause of action to challenge whatever title, whatever ownership that's purported to be exercised over the land at Bocage. As a matter of fact, I believe they have a strong cause in equity with respect to the conduct and the way in which the matters have been dealt with. And I believe this has been very deceitfully dealt with. Because there you have, up to October, Mr. Batiste and company are trying to find financing. When early on, even before October, monies have been allocated to apparently Poultry Farms Grenada Limited or some other entity from a particular fund, while Mr. Batiste is waiting to have that lease document sent back to him. So after that has been done, then on the 13th of December, he's been told by the government, we're not going ahead anymore. We've changed our mind. So there we are with this situation, and that's as far as I wish to go with this one, with what I have to say.
Yes, indeed, folks. So I know a lot of you are surprised in relation to what was taking place there with the poultry farms. And let's just go over quickly most of what you've just heard there. And speaking there was Mr. Curtis Batiste and Mr. Cadrington Hood. I believe Mr. Curtis Batiste is now deceased, I believe, yeah. So you're speaking about the poultry farms. Because you always hear NDC people jumping on poultry farm as though the new National Party went and thief a set of money from the poultry farm thing, or that they wasted a set of Grenadian. You hear who was wasting Grenadian money? Because Poultry Farms Grenada Limited, a company, so this man went to Mr. Henry Joseph, and he said to Mr. Henry Joseph, I want you to be the financial consultant on my poultry project. He did not accept. He went to Mr. Jude Bernard, the same Jude Bernard that like to call all kind of program and call people crook and thing. Went to him and say, I want you to be part of my poultry project. They said no. Then went behind his back, create their own poultry company, Grenada Poultry Farms Grenada Limited. On the 13th of July 2011, that company was formed. Yeah, they formed that company on the 13th of July 2011. Meanwhile, and all of this is taking place under the NDC, not under the NNP. Let me repeat. All of this was taking place under the NDC of 2008 to 2013. This wasn't taking place under the New National Party. We'll come to the New National Party just now. This was taking place under the NDC, Tillman Thomas NDC. Yeah, that is who it was taking place under. They even transferred funds, Grenadians' money. They transferred funds from the government of Grenada to Poultry Farms Grenada Limited from a special fund. So they transferred money. Not the NNP transferred it. The NDC of Tillman Thomas that transferred it. All of this in relation to that poultry project that was supposed to take place up in St. Mark. So, and you see the reason I'm playing this, a lot of people didn't hear it. Because at that point in time, election campaign, hot people out, rally, this, that, the other, and this took place and it sort of dissolved into the news. So not much people picked up what was taking place there. These people form a company. The same Jude Bernard, ask him about the Poultry Farms Grenada Limited. I want to make sure I'm saying it proper. Ask Jude Bernard when he call a program again. Ask him to call in and talk about Poultry Farms Grenada Limited. The company that in their laws could meet anywhere. On the moon, on a plane, on a boat heading down to Trinidad or South America. They could meet anywhere. And that to meet, one person just had to stay wherever they is and say, well, have a meeting and decide that this is the amount of money I want on a monthly basis. And once they do that and sign for that, that is the amount of money they have to get on a monthly basis. Not 2, not 3 have to meet and you say you have a quorum of 3 or 4 or 5 and a discussion takes place. But that one person could have made that decision. And he can't say it lie because the documents are still available. He can't say anybody lie on him. I want to hear some of your NDCites talk about poultry farm again. Because the government of Grenada at the time, the NDC administration, added lands, several acres, to the lands that sell. That is Sunset Enterprises Limited. incorporated back in the year 2002. Now, the NNP administration had given some lands to them to do the project. Dr. Patrick Antoine was working along with them trying to secure financing. In other words, speaking with investors outside of Grenada. Here, there's a poultry project in Grenada. Once that poultry project takes off, you will get back X amount of money and you'll make a profit after a period of time. So Dr. Patrick Antoine was the one who was traveling all over and while doing other things as well, trying to find financing. And you heard Mr. Baptiste say that he was pleased with the work that Dr. Antoine was doing. But yet still you hear them NDCI talking about poultry. Talk about poultry farm now. Talk about it now. Because you see, those of you that like to call radio and then go down a litany of things about poultry farm and briefcase and so, each of them are coming with. You all know not of what you speak. You all throw out these things there, not knowing anything about the issue that you're talking about. Call and talk about poultry farm again. But before you call, find Jude Bernard and Henry Joseph and ask them about the company that had a one-man quorum. That one man could have just signed a document on behalf of the company. Without a stamp, anything, he just signed on behalf of the company. I never hear that yet until I hear this. And the government of Grenada, knowing that those rules existed, and not the government of Grenada as in the NNP government, let us make it clear. All that you hear them speaking about there is during the term of the last NDC administration. So when you hear they were talking about accountability and transparency, was Poultry Farms Grenada Limited a company that sound accountable and that sort of thing? So they have a quorum of one. So one man just say, I'm having a meeting with myself today. I wonder how much money I should be remunerated as a member of the board. I think I'll take $10,000 a month. And he just said that and signed, and immediately he could get $10,000 a month. That is what Jude Bernard was involved in when he running him out on people. That is what Jude Bernard was involved in. And he can't take nobody to court. That is what Jude Bernard was involved in. And the same Henry Joseph that jumped in and end up as one of the people that made the decision when it come to the Kimpton by Kawana to give away how much millions of dollars? 20-something million, and then they had to find the 56 million. Even if we forget that, we didn't forget that, you know. The same Henry Joseph was involved in that as well. Not only was his business, I think his business used to do the accounts and thing for them. And he ended up being one of the people on the committee that made the decision to not go forward with the case and try and settle. Yet still, you have these people that like to call people crook in this place. Yeah? Again, Hurricane Ivan, the project started off 2002, they got the lands, different things. 2003, 2004, Hurricane Ivan hit. You're starting to rebuild the country and starting focusing heavily on that at that point in time. And as the gentleman said, by 2006, he thought, well, look, NNP are helping me out with this project because, of course, the NNP government at that time, between 2004 to 2008, was heavily focused on, you had housing problems here in Grenada, so you had to focus on housing. You had to focus on building back businesses and so on. You had to focus on all these things. So the NNP government between 2004 and 2008 was heavily focused on that. It's not that you were not still making attempts to find financing for the poultry farm, but that is on the back burner. You have a country that 80-something% of your housing was leveled in a hurricane. 80-something% of your housing was leveled. Either roof gone, this gone, that gone, the whole house gone. So that was the focus. The gentleman became disgruntled with what the New National Party's focus was, and they wasn't focusing on him. As far as he was concerned, they were focusing on other areas. And he joined the National Democratic Congress. The man was a card-carrying member of the National Democratic Congress. The man was a chairman for 3 consecutive times, or 3 consecutive chairman of the National Democratic Congress. He was the campaign manager of the NDC when they win the election in 2008. When all you want to talk about fowl farm, talk about that. You don't know what you're talking about. All we money gone in the fowl farm. All the money gone in what fowl farm? Ask Mr. Nazimberg, because he was at that point in time, he would have been the Minister of Finance who transferred funds from the government of Grenada to Poultry Farms Grenada Limited, the company that was formed on the 13th of July 2011. So when they want to talk about these things, and again, when they went looking for investors, you heard what Richard Nixon said. Richard Nixon said the prorogation of Parliament. Because remember, Mr. Tillman Thomas knew that if he opened the Parliament and there was a vote of no confidence, he would lose. So he locked down the Parliament in 2011. And the Parliament did not reopen until it was reopened by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell in 2013 after the general elections. They did not reopen the Parliament. So the Chinese investors who were interested said, well, no, the country seems very unstable because the government, they can't even open Parliament. So it's very unstable because remember, these people, for the millions of dollars of equipment that was needed to outfit the poultry farm, these people were willing to provide the equipment for a stake. In other words, we give you the equipment as equity. So we give you the equipment and we have a share in the business. So you cost it out and then they would get a percentage over a period of time. That is what the proposal was. The Chinese said, we're afraid to do it because all you have Parliament prorogued down there in Grenada. So Grenada is very unstable at that point in time. And on top of that, look what you all did to another person who invested in Grenada, Lewis Hamilton. We cannot trust you. We can't trust you all down there. But you don't hear that. You hear them talking about, oh, the poultry farm and all the money gone in the poultry farm. Answer about that. Tell us about that. Folks, the phone lines are open. 440-7377. I know many of you have heard before them talking about the poultry farm and the poultry farm and the poultry farm. Yeah. Yeah, about the poultry farm. Yeah, about the poultry farm. You understand? I wonder if I have something else. Let me see.
What part of the
I was the deputy chairman of the Grenada Broilers Incorporation, which was the company that was the parent company for executing the project between 2002 and 2004. It comprised of 75% ownership by the government of Grenada and 25% ownership by Sunset Enterprises Limited. My role really was to lead in the negotiations of the finances and of course to play the role as chair when the chairman was out. I was substantively the vice chairman of the board. I refuted the allegations immediately by virtue of the fact that the substance of the allegations could easily have been disproven and were in fact disproven by a report from the Auditor General's Department that was published and was in the public domain. Notwithstanding this fact, the allegations flew fast and furious by the new NDC administration, and all manner of adjectives were used, all of them unsavory in relation to the project, and I suppose by affiliation, my own role as the lead negotiator for the financing and substantive vice chairman of the project. And so this has almost become, as it were, a papi show, to use a Grenadian term, in the context of having the project being raised on virtually every platform where allegations of improper conduct would come to be alleged to the NNP. So that my reaction at the time was to keep my powder dry And for all those allegations that were made by the several persons, notwithstanding the Auditor General's report, I continue to hold my old ground on whether I will in fact take action now or in the future against other parties. In relation to Mr. Batiste, I understand, and I have always understood Mr. Batiste's position. When I came into the project as the vice chairman, virtually every other member of the board was against compensating him for bona fide, genuine expenses that he incurred in fact, taking the project to the point at which it was at that time. There was obviously substantial expenses in relation to land clearing, land preparation, and a whole host of other things that he'd incurred in bringing the project, including the project documentation that was near, I would say, he submitted a fairly close to completed project document, which was only amended by the addition of, for instance, some new functions in the project, such as processing. But he obviously expended quite a bit on that. I actually led in calling for compensation for Mr. Batiste and the shareholders of Cell who would have taken the project to that stage. And so Mr. Batiste was compensated, largely because I pushed for it. I understand what it is to be a person who would have invested virtually all you own in a project and to essentially hang your dreams and aspirations on it, the project, being able to compensate you for the expenses that you would have sunk in it. I understood too the fact that Mr. Batiste was vulnerable in 2008, having sunk virtually all his resources, and I do mean virtually all his resources into the project, and not to have it materialize. I understood his anger and frustration. Were I in that position, where essentially you have a project since 2001 that you continue to invest in, even though you get some back, you still continue to invest in, I understand how anxious one would feel. And therefore the apology today, one, is welcomed by me because it's an acknowledgement by Mr. Batiste that things could have been done differently. Two, what he said in terms of feeling vulnerable is clear to me. I understand that. And so there is no anger. There is no guile on my part for Mr. Batiste. It is only for me tragic that the government would have taken advantage of Mr. Batiste in this way. That they would have recognized that he was vulnerable, that they would have recognized his anxiety to do the project, that they would have committed to doing it, and that they would have used Mr. Batiste in the way that they have. And let me say that I'm not surprised at all by the fact that they would have so acted, because Mr. Batiste is not the only person that they have done this to. What we're hearing today is a story that I have heard time and again in the context of the actions by the NDC in 2008. It is tragic that our society, that our civilization has come to this. But I am not at all surprised by this. Needless to say, I too accept Mr. Batiste's apology. I understand, and now it's a legal issue. It is unfortunate that on the eve of an election, we would find ourselves where no matter how the election goes, there obviously is going to be a legal battle. It is quite obvious there's going to be a legal battle. And if you look at this document, one set of interpretations coming from what I've heard the legal counsel say is that there's certainly there's a basis for certain questions to be asked regarding whether some of the documents are fraudulent. And that, to my mind, is going to be the subject of a pretty interesting set of legal issues to be sorted out post February 19, 2013. It is unfortunate that we are where we are, but I think the evidence is before us. What is also instructive is the words coming from the diplomatic representative to China, where he is basically making the case that the prorogation of Parliament and the behavior by the government has caused him distress in sourcing financing for the project. I think this is instructive. But I think all the reasons are true. I think the first reason is the financing. That's why immediately we couldn't go ahead with the project. I think Mr. Batiste makes that point clear. I think the second reason is that this is in the context of Hurricane Ivan, where the project financing depended in part on government taking a guarantee against funds, which was to be counterpart funding to the funds that the project itself would bring in from Exim Bank. The Exim Bank financing required a guarantee from the government. And so the government had to take a decision: do I guarantee loans in respect of hurricane rehabilitation and hurricane housing, hurricane shelter, schools, health centers, or do I take the guarantee against the poultry project? And in the aftermath of Hurricane Ivan, where the economy shrunk by 2 years GDP, that decision really was not a difficult one to take. You needed to have housing and schools immediately available. And so Prime Minister Mitchell's point that in the aftermath of the hurricane it wasn't viable was in fact a very, very, very apt and correct response. It is also true that I would have said that I would have advised against it, because we were talking at a time when poultry prices were down, and in fact, to my mind, the global situation with regard to proteins and meats would have changed. And today, I think that there is a basis to take another look, and I think the NNP manifesto says that they're prepared to take a look at this and other projects. When we were doing the project, interestingly, when we started, the project looked tremendously viable. Mr. Batiste also alluded to the fact that by the time we got to implementing the project, steel prices had begun to move. It's a global product. And so you have from time to time to look at the economics around the project to see when it's best to start. And of course, it means that the project is going to be continuously subject to the global cuts and thrusts in the movement of prices for grain, for meat, for substitutes. So that once you engage in a project of this scope, you're opening yourself to a whole heap of factors, all of which are moving from time to time. And in some instances, some of them move all at the same time. And I think that is what we're seeing in the context of the project.
Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, just letting you all know what took place. Yeah? Letting you all know what took place. So any of them that come and play the running them out about Fowl Farm, kindly direct them to tonight's show, and they'll get the answer, especially people like Jude. Yeah, right, yeah. Direct them. No, not Judas Jude. Leave Judas Jude alone. I ain't what I need to say, right? No. Yeah, Rude Jude, not Judas Jude. We're talking about Rude Jude now. Right, just direct him and ask him about the one-man company. Well, not one-man company, but the company with the one-man quorum. Ask him about that. Instead of showing a set of different things tonight, I decided to home in on this one. Because I realized up until, was it last week or so, you had some individual calling the radio and talking about Poultry Farm. And they know nothing about what they speak about. You had an individual that used to play the calling here once or twice and come talking about Poultry Farm. They know nothing about what they speak. If I was a supporter of the National Democratic Congress, I would shut my mouth when it come up to the Poultry Farm issue. I would have absolutely nothing to say. Folks, we have about 20 minutes remaining. Phone lines are open. Let me hear you all views in relation to this one. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Yeah, let me hear you all. See, sometimes you have to address these things. You can't just let them just get away with it. You have to address them, yeah? They attacked Dr. Mitchell, they attacked Dr. Clarice Modest, they attacked Dr. Patrick, and attacked the three doctors. Dr. Patrick Antoine, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, and Dr. Clarice Modest. They attacked the three of them on this.
But whoa,
Oh no, don't worry. We'll be speaking about the shrimp farm soon as well. Don't think we're afraid to speak about any of those things. Because again, a lot of misinformation is being put out there about the shrimp farm, giving the impression that billions of dollars or millions of dollars of Grenadian taxpayers losing that and all kind of nonsense. The people who speaking about these things have no idea what they're speaking about. They're just talking out of the broadness of their mouth. They're talking out of the broadness of their mouth. They don't know what they're attempting to speak about. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Honestly, I am so happy that you bring this thing out. This is no AI.
No, that's not
this
no
is
AI.
the real deal. This is the real deal. You understand? And this fall farm and this poultry farm was beat upon small by NDC. And they are the very set culprits. They are the ones. And you see, that's what it does, They just jump on things that they know that they do something wrong about to blame somebody else.
But imagine the man completed the documentation for the investment of the lands, the 31 acres to him. A year earlier, they went, while that man did that, they went and they registered a company. No, but they value it back at the 2001 value when the company was started his company was started in 2002. And on top of that, they went and formed another company and then tried to vest the lands. They vested the lands in that company.
Yeah. But you see, now, the point about the whole thing is that, look at it. The government had to take a decision against, taking the monies for a farm or to build back. And we know nothing about that. This is a thing that the public has no idea about, Because I myself, I've heard this poultry farm before. And I have not to say because I don't know much about it. But now that I have, because just recently I was in the barber shop. And one person, I won't call his name, brought the same poultry farm. I couldn't say anything because I don't know much about it. But thank you very much.
Now you understand.
You give me ammunition.
Now you understand clearly the poultry farm issue.
And this is no AI. This is real thing here.
Nah, real thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah, brother.
All right, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is real thing. And to back it up, there are documents in the registry. And there are documents at the lawyers. So they cannot say that anything that was said here tonight was a misrepresentation of the facts. And this was a press conference that was held, I believe, in January or February, I think, of 2013. Again, everybody studying to campaign, thing, this, that place, hot, election, that time, election, hot. You understand? So a lot of people missed this. The same way when I played this stuff from after Hurricane Ivan. Because some people were trying to give you the impression that they had so much connections that they brought so many people and played what happened after Hurricane Ivan. A lot of people were surprised. We have a call online. Good night.
Hi, Brother Sheldon. Good evening, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Pass?
I'm good. Just listening, man. Just listening facts.
Yeah, you hear about the Fowl Farm now, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let them come and talk about Fowl Farm now. Let them come and talk about Fowl Farm now.
Well, just as the previous caller, first time I'm hearing this one, I heard about the shrimp farm, where the money is in the escrow account,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that.
No, we're gonna discuss the shrimp farm too. Don't worry, did they come in for that one?
Yeah, let me tell Grenadians this. The Grenadians, listen to me. These folks, right? The NDC folks, both NO and new NDC, they have been trying the utmost best over the years, to put down, to belittle, to sideline, to sidetrack the supporters of the New National Party. You see, don't forget we have our rights. Just as people have the rights to their religious belief and practices, people have the rights to assemble, whatever rights that they have. Just remember that whenever you make a decision or you take, you want to pursue this particular discipline or do this as a subject or whatever, don't let nobody change your mind. We don't believe that everything is right, everything is practically true. But from what you're hearing tonight, and nights past, the facts that has been coming out from this program, talking points, you can definitely see that these people, they really and truly have no base for the conviction, because if you have a conviction, right? And it is true, and it is a foundation, a fundamental conviction. You would not sway, you would stand undisputed. But guess what? If you realize what's going on, everything that they try is being demounded. Every corner they turn in the dark, you can see them, because truth has no clothing. You don't put no clothes on truth. Truth is open. Truth is transparent. Truth, you can see it. And so don't be afraid, supporters. Don't be afraid, Grenadians. I'm talking to even NDC supporters. When the thing is wrong, it is wrong, right? Speak out on it. And no color where that is concerned. No color where that is concerned. Truth is truth. Stand strong for what is right. Don't let anybody sway you in believing something else. Now, that same Jude Bernard, Mr. Jude Bernard, I heard him on a program one morning in GBL. I laughed because, as the caller said, I heard about this chicken farm, and I couldn't do anything in terms of detracting anybody, bringing out whatever they bring. But when I heard this gentleman, he sounded so convincing. He sounded as if it was really the truth that he was saying, and you could hear the supporters. And that was around the campaign, Mm-hmm. You can hear the supporters. Hey, yeah, you say, yeah, we done with them now. They're dead. That is it. Well, okay. Well, they forget the day that fighter runner would live to fight another day. So that fight is coming. That political fight is coming. Let's stand strong. Let's support our political organization. I believe that organization is one of the most transparent, most honest and determined political organization ever. I really thank God for that movement. And I believe we would overcome all the apparent defeats. We'll overcome that, and we will be victorious. Keep on keeping on, brother.
All right. Thank you very much.
Don't forget the concert.
Yes, the 15th of December, starting at 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much.
God bless.
Yes, indeed, folks. And he was speaking there about the Wester Hall music, the Wester Hall Music School. Their Christmas music concert is taking place at the Grenada Trade Center on the 15th of December. Yes, the day of the convention. So after we finish convention, go in and relax and listen to some nice Christmas music. And so across by Pastor. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on. And you can call us on the WhatsApp as well. And you see too, sometimes what this does to investor confidence when what was done to Lewis Hamilton. So the people heard, because it's Lewis Hamilton. That's a worldwide brand, especially in China, Europe, etc. His name is a brand. So when that government did what they did to him, it made world news, because you had all these international agencies picking up, well, look, the Grenada government is saying that Lewis Hamilton is involved in some kind of corrupt and wrongdoing act in Grenada and so on, and he acquired land that he shouldn't acquire and so on. And then, after all of that, you have this government coming in and did what they did in relation to that same land. So, listen for the outcome in the future when you hear about investment. Because at this point in time, friends, I would like to challenge the NDC administration after close to 900 days. Yeah, it's close to 900 days now. I would like to challenge them to name one investor that they have brought into Grenada. Name one. Okay, not even one. Name a quarter of one investor that they have brought into Grenada, that they have went out there and they found and they brought that investor into Grenada, and that they have started doing a business that is hiring a lot of people and that sort of thing. Name one that they have brought. All you have are the completion and continuation of projects that were started under the new National Party. the same work that was done by the New National Party when they went out there and they brought investors, they brought investment, billions of dollars of investment into Grenada. So that, and people say, well, okay, when a New National Party MP took a plane and they went out and they had a meeting and they came back with investment. So you have a hotel that was being built, and when the hotel was being built, you have close to 1,000 people that was working on it up there in St. David. And then you have all the people that selling the local lunch and the local breakfast and the local juice and thing and the nuts, everything, that these people were going to them and just making money off of that. And then you might have the little sales van that just pass around with the little clothes and the this and the that, and these guys were able to buy thing and ladies were able to buy thing, so they make money too. Then you had on the completion, the people that working at the facility now. That was the NNP when government ministers travel. When these ministers travel, just come back and tell you, boy, the food was nice, boy. What? That food in that place nice, boy. I ain't to tell you, boy. Yeah, the food nice. Okay, put that aside. What did you bring back of value to the Grenadian people? We still waiting on the 2 million from acting Prime Minister Andy Williams in relation to the coconut project from India. We still waiting on the 2 million there. Like we still waiting on the new MNIB. Like we are still waiting right now to see them come and defend what was said by Honorable Gregory Bowen in relation to oil and gas. We'll have a press conference by the end of the month. Well, all you have roughly 24 hours to do that. Yeah? By the end of November, by sometime in November, the committee will come and report to the Grenadian people. November done. Today was the last normal working day, weekday. And Olaine had no press conference. You know why Olaine having press conference? All you're hoping people like me move on to another topic, because Olaine does do so much stupidness. So all you're hoping people like me move on to another topic and leave that alone. Don't worry, after a while, Sheldon and them go forget that, man. They ain't go bother to talk about that. Don't worry about Andrea and them, they go forget that. They ain't going and talk about that for a while again. No. I'm talking about it. You all have to come out and there has to be an apology by the Prime Minister of this country. But you see, I can say that there has to be an apology. But you have to be of a certain mental level to understand that you have made a mistake and you apologize. Yeah? You made a mistake, you come out and you apologize. But when you're a little child, you try your best to hide it. Mommy is not me, it's my brother. Mommy is not me, his big sister do that. It's not me, it's the neighbor child. Always looking for excuse to get out of it and not focusing on what really needs to be done. Apologize. So the Prime Minister could stand up in front of not the Parliament, in a bunch of people and make the claim. NNP thief a pile of money and push it in the party to give a man a diplomatic passport. And there's a cabinet conclusion in relation to it. And you ask him, okay, if you're saying that, show the cabinet conclusion. And no, they ain't going to talk about that again, man. I put that out there and everybody believe that. Just like the fowl farm, everybody believe that out there. And don't worry, that will just stay in people's mind. And they will vote against NNP because they'll say NNP corrupt. Yeah? Who more corrupt than them that are in office right now? Who more corrupt than those that are in office right now? Those that talk about transparency and best government and people could talk now and all kind of nonsense. Who more corrupt than them? My goodness. Folks, we're quickly running out of time. I didn't even realize that we're nearly out of time for tonight because I told you it was going to be a long one that I had to play tonight. But I found it absolutely necessary. I found it absolutely necessary to play that tonight. Because it's time we put a stop and an end to this thing once and for all. The MP of St. Mark did all in her power to try and save that project. All that she could do to try and save that project is what they don't say about her. including the same Mr. Curtis Batista talk there, you know? Because he come back and he basically apologized for what he did, because he said he lost confidence in the NNP government. But how, I mean, yes, you have a project and the project could make money and different things like that. But should the government go and guarantee the funds for you from the Exim Bank, guarantee the project at that time, or should the government focus on building houses? You had people that were basically living with friends, living with relatives, all kind of thing. You couldn't focus on going to help somebody with that endeavor at that time. You put that on hold. You still have it in your mind, but you put it on hold. Let's deal with the rebuilding of the country. Yeah? Let's deal with the rebuilding of our country. Folks, let me give you all a reminder again. Tomorrow night, the black tie affair of the New National Party. Yeah, there's no clip to send, my friend. Yeah, the New National Party will be having the black tie affair and award ceremony taking place tomorrow night at the Pier 57. In attendance will be Prime Minister of Jamaica, and that is the Honorable Andrew Holness, and also the Honorable Alan Chasney, former Prime Minister and political leader of the United Workers' Party, opposition leader out there in St. Lucia, will be in attendance as well. Everybody saying Sunday. I thought people know Sunday is supposed to be green out. I don't think I'm supposed to have to tell NNPites that you have to wear your green on Sunday. Nah, man. I know my people know they have to put on their green. Yeah, I know my people know they had to put on their green. And let me see if I can just pull up the numbers for the buses again for you all. Just one final time, just to let you all see the list of buses, bus numbers, for the activity. And let me see how I could put that up here. Right. So again, St. Patrick East, 533-8797. St. Patrick West, 442-1922. St. Mark, 449-2533, 415-7635, and 457-6906. St. John, 533-1079. St. Andrew Northeast, 416-0328. St. Andrew Northwest, 406-3552. St. Andrew Southeast, 418-7888. St. Andrew Southwest, 415-5862. So St. Andrew Southwest, 415-5862. St. David, 415-9072. 533-5213 and 536-9137. St. George Northeast, 537-4955. St. George Northwest, 459-5076 and 449-6603. St. George Southeast, 423-0706. St. George South, 536-8704. And Town of St. George, 414-3876. So, folks, just want to thank each and every one of you for being out here with Talking Points tonight. Looking forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Those of you that will be making the black tie tomorrow, I ain't too sure on that one. I ain't think I'm making it to that one. But definitely on Sunday, I will be there, God's willing, at the Beaujeu playing field. Yes, resplendent in my green. And I hope that I see you all in your green as well. All right, celebrating 40 years of the New National Party. All right? Yeah, we're looking forward to that one. And folks, in everything you say, everything you do, do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you and looking forward to seeing you on the weekend at the various activities.
History is in the making as the New National Party celebrates 40 powerful years of progress, visionary leadership, and service with a massive rally. Busheshu Plain Field on Sunday, December 1st, 5 p.m. Get inspired for the rescue mission ahead. Joining us all the way from Jamaica, the most honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. From St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and political leader of the UWP, the Honorable Alan Chasney. We will also witness a high highly anticipated address from Grenada's longest-serving Prime Minister and our political leader, Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, NNP Marcel 40th Anniversary Rally, December 1st, Busheshu Plain Field. Be there.
Transformation in reverse gear, the whole country panicking in fear. The yellow ideology, never walk in this five country. If all you can make it no more, call a date up, pack up and go. We blood pressure soaring higher, all you want us go by Lacroix. Who go sing that in Parang? Or who go sing a shot me song? I go and call my partner Lakey. I hope he did. Carnival taking too long to come. Scholars don't sing them kind of song. And then the topic might get stale, or they may try to